We have a question from Magala Nair. As a NAB staff member and proud member and delegate of the Finance Sector Union, I'm passionate about making NAB a place I can be proud to work at. So my fellow staff and I were deeply dismayed to learn that NAB continues to fuel the climate crisis. When it comes to public relations, our bank is pumping out the urgency for renewables transition, and yet it refuses to publicly acknowledge that any company developing new fossil fuels is an impediment to that transition. And worse still, our bank won't even commit to refusing destructive companies the finance that enables them to wreck our climate. NAB's even left itself 2 more years to directly fund new fossil fuel projects. NAB's employees were not consulted about this latest climate policy, and we haven't been given a chance to have any input on what it should look like. Will NAB commit to involving employees when developing its climate policies in the future? Will you commit to engaging with us on policy that impacts us too?
Thank you, and thank you very much for the question. I think there's plenty of avenues for our staff to engage in dialogue. I know that both in forums that are held in through workplace and other forums, but I'm sure, Ross, you'd be very keen to hear from staff and getting their input. I just want to clarify that I think it's not clear, it's not appropriate to define what we're doing as pumping out public relations and fueling fossil fuels. We're doing, as I said, we've materially reduced our lending to the fossil fuel sector over the last few years. The only fossil fuel sector of any size we have is oil and gas. We've capped that. We've declined thermal coal. We've reduced our metallurgical coal. So actually, NAB has been materially reducing its lending, and I think that needs to be clear. But I'm sure we welcome input from our staff, and I'm sure, Ross, you can find some additional forums for that to be in place. Maybe you want to add.
Yeah, thank you, Phil, and I'm a little bit surprised that our colleagues think that, because most of our policies and our practices have actually been built in the businesses and built from the ground up. It has certainly been led at the larger end of our business through our corporate institutional team, and the team have been very involved in all of our policies, particularly to our larger 100 emitting customers, and that policy has not been led by a strategy group in head office or any type of group in head office. It's been business led, and the same in our business and private bank. It's certainly been led by the people in that business. And of course we have a major sector being the agricultural sector, which has been raised today, that we need to work our way through, and that will be done with our bankers very much involved in that. And then of course we've got the very largest sector, which is our housing sector, which again our personal banking team are involved in on a daily basis. So this is not being led out of a major strategy group, although we do have one climate team who are coordinating on behalf of the business. But we'll find other forums, Phil, that we're obviously missing out somewhere.
Yep.
And we need to do some more work with some of our colleagues who feel that they want a greater input, which is absolutely fantastic.
Okay. Thank you. Jessica, do we have another question?
Chair, I have a second question from Magala Nair. I also want to ask a question not just of the board, but fellow retail and institutional shareholders. As a delegate of the Finance Sector Union, a staff member, and as a shareholder of NAB, I ask that all vote in favour of Resolutions 5A and B. The resolution seeks further disclosure of transition plan expectations, a policy which, if implemented properly, could see NAB actually begin to align its commitment to the Paris Agreement and limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees. Mr. Chairman, I want to be proud to work here. I want to no longer be ashamed that it takes hundreds of concerned citizens routinely protesting outside our CBD headquarters and branches around the country for NAB to get its act together. I want my bank, NAB, not to provide finance to any new fossil fuel projects or the companies building them, which are not compatible with a stable and livable planet. Thank you.
Thank you, and I just like to add to that, we would like you to feel proud as well, and hopefully as our plans progress and your understanding of them improves, we can find some alignment where you can achieve that. So thank you.